ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. May the Lord Indra, Varuna, Aryama, Bruhaspati bring welfare to us. I shall speak the truth and I shall follow the truth. May the Brahman protect me. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, if you remember the earlier class, there was an introduction on Taittiriya Upanishad. And probably I want to tell you regarding the story that why the name we got Taittiriya regarding the birds and other things. There we have to take it very symbolically, basically. So the Yajnavalkya was a advanced student, quite intelligent, quite wise. So hence he had finished his syllabus fast. And generally in the school days or in our college days, we see if some student is quite bright and is well updated about the knowledge, the teachers, they ask the student to help the other students, I mean a group study or whatever. So probably according to me, Yajnavalkya, since he was a bright student, he was asked to help other students, and other students were quite interested to learn the knowledge or to get the knowledge. So that's how Yajnavalkya transferred the knowledge to his friends or other students. So that one, to make it interestingly, probably the story has been told. So we have to take it symbolically there. That's one point I wanted to stress. And second point, probably there, that Yajnavalkya's guru, Vaishampayana. So Yajnavalkya was supposed to show the respect. Though he was respectful, somewhere probably he might have showed his angularities, or maybe that he's quite intelligent, he's quite wise. So he showed his stubbornness probably. As a result, he was scolded by his guru. So the importance of the teacher, and as a pupil, as a student, one should be humble enough in front of the teacher. I think these are the two virtues we should learn from the story, and we have to take it symbolically, I was thinking. And if you remember, this Taittiriya Upanishad is from Krishna Yajurveda, and what is Veda and all we know. And in that there is called Taittiriya Aranyaka, so it is a part of that. So the last 4 chapters, in the last 7 to 10 chapters among them, 7, 8, 9, these are the 3 chapters constitute Taittiriya Upanishad. And the 10th chapter is nothing but Mahanarayana Upanishad. Most of our worship, the Gayatri mantras, different deities have got their own Gayatri mantras, sacred chants. All of them have been culled from the Mahanarayana Upanishad. In fact, when we take sannyasa, that is a monastic vows, we do particular homa, sacrifice, Viraja Homa it is called. Even the Viraja Homa mantras has been culled by this Mahanarayana Upanishad. So this Mahanarayana Upanishad is exclusively, extensively used for a lot of worship, ritualistic worship. So this Taittiriya Upanishad is from chapter 7 to chapter 9. And Shankaracharya has written commentary to all these 3 chapters. Now, the 3 chapters, so I mean, if you can register the names, fine. Otherwise, you need not to boggle your heads. The 3 chapter names, one is Shiksha Valli, Brahma Valli, and Bhrugu Valli. Valli means it is nothing but chapter actually. The Sanskrit word Valli means in English it is nothing but chapter. So three chapters. Shiksha. Why there is a word called Shiksha there? Oh, because the mantra, it starts from Shiksham Vyaakhyasyamaha. So it starts from the word Shiksha. That's the reason it has been named as Shiksha Valli. That's all. The same thing was like Brahmananda Valli or Brahmavalli. So Brahmavida apnoti param tadeshabhyukta. So it starts with the word Brahma. That's why the chapter is named after Brahmavalli or Brahmananda Valli. And the third is Bhruguvalli. Bhrugurvaivārunihi. So the conversation between the disciple and the teacher comes, Bhrugu and Aruni. So that's why it starts from the word Bhrugu. That's why it is named as Bhruguvalli. But quite interesting if you see, when we go into Upanishad, we will understand the first and third chapter, that is Shikshavalli and Bhruguvalli, they discuss about Karma Yoga, the path of selfless action, and different type of meditations actually. So actually, if you see, it is nothing to do with Vedanta. Means from the path of knowledge. So it is about different types of meditations and how to perform selfless work, mainly by and large. And the second chapter, that is Brahmavalli or Brahmanandavalli, contains the essence of the Vedanta. So giving this broad view, just I will give a little more introduction to every chapter and we will start discussing about the peace chant, which I started at the beginning. Now, Shikshavalli. First and foremost, we should keep it in mind. These Taittiriya Upanishad mantras are in prose form. For example, in the Kena Upanishad, Kene titam padati preshitam manaha Kena prana pratama praiti yuktaha Kene shitam vachamimam vadanti. So like that it goes. It is in the poetry form. When it is in a poetry, it is in a particular meter, like Anushtup Chandas or whatever. It is in a meter form. Quite interestingly, in the Taittiriya Upanishad, it is in the prose form. But however it may be, it is so beautiful to chant. In India, whoever chants, so this Taittiriya Upanishad is often used to chant. Once I remember in the monastery where I was there, joined in Bangalore, so the Swamiji Pontiff was teaching us Taittiriya Upanishad. So we were all chanting every day, learning from him. And just to maybe remember or to practice, the brahmacharis, the novices, while cutting fruits, while plucking flowers, while cleaning the plates in the kitchen. So everywhere they were trying to chant this Taittiriya Upanishad as a practice, as a part of. One of the volunteer who was already, updated or who was already introduced into Vedas, Upanishads, he came and told, Swamiji or Maharaj, he said, Maharaj, what our ashrama monastery is bubbling with the Taittiriya Upanishad everywhere I see. Why? Because I said yes, because we are undergoing the Taittiriya Upanishad class. Though it is a prose form, it is so beautiful, so nice to chant. We all got enchanted by that. So I think all brahmacharis, novices, knowingly or unknowingly, they are practicing chanting. That's the reason. Wherever you go, kitchen, temple, or office room, or anywhere, garden, you are listening to the Vedic chanting of Taittiriya Upanishad bubbling out, I said. So though it is a prose form, it is quite interesting that it is very soothing for chanting even. That's the one quite interesting. Okay. So now here, whoever studies deeply technically, I mean to say, these have been these paragraphs. Since it is in it is a prose form, they have been put into paragraphs. And the technical name for paragraph here, it is called Anuvaka. Anuvaka means what? Paragraph. That's all. Okay. Now, for an example, in the Shikshavalli, there are 12 paragraphs. The first paragraph and last paragraph is what peace chants. And apart from that, so some second to 11 paragraphs contains the Upanishad. First and 12 is what peace chant, and 11 paragraphs constitute the Upanishad. And this chapter, when we read it deeply, we will understand It is a karma, the selfless action, and the different types of meditations has been given here. Why? So to prepare our mind to attain eligibility to study Vedanta, to understand the consciousness or the nature of consciousness. So, I mean, recently, I keep saying this. Recently, someone asked with all sincerity, Swamiji, how long will I take to realize I am Brahman? I am that consciousness. I said, my dear, this is been told by Upanishads and this is told by saints that it is a spur of moment, like a finger snap. A finger snap is a just in a moment you will understand and you will experience I am that Brahman. Because already I am that. So it will take a spur of moment to experience that Brahman. But what is this? But if and but's only problem always in our lives. So, but the preparation for that spur of moment can take years and decades and centuries or lives based on our struggles. So all our life is what? Preparation, preparation, preparation. I had heard the same thing. I had asked this question in our again in the monasteries when we join. I think we are because of what you say unripened or unrefined or whatever. We'll get all silly jokes, silly questions we do. So the Isha, Kena, and Kata, three Upanishads has been taught by our Swamiji, the pontiff. After at the end of the Kata Upanishad, I asked sincerely, Swamiji, when I read Ishavasya Upanishad, you taught us Kenopanishad, you taught Katopanishad, fine, but the more or less the essence is same. Why you want to teach so many Upanishads? He laughed and he said, and he asked, my dear, what did you read at the end of Katopanishad? I said, yeah, at the end of Katopanishad, so Nachiketa got Brahma Vidya, Nachiketa got self-knowledge, and he returned to his father. I said, then he said, yes, you were right. Now, so he heard only Katopanishad, the teachings of Katopanishad from the Nachiketa, from Yama. He heard, he got self-knowledge and he left. Now, in your case, you heard Isha Upanishad, you heard Keno Upanishad, you heard Katopanishad. Did you get Brahma Jnana? I said, no. That is the reason you are supposed to attend my class, and that's the reason I'm supposed to do my class, he said. Then I had to keep my mouth shut and I had to just return to my room. So why should we read this time and again? If you ask me, because it is only to get conviction. Do I know that I am that Brahman? Yes, by studying Upanishads we know. Whoever we have studied Vedanta, by this time, at least we are clear to greater extent, I am the consciousness, not the body and mind. But however I think, however I read, however I've studied, but the notion of reality has not been shifted from my body mind to consciousness. Technically, it is called Satyatva Buddhi. What is real? If you ask, where Upanishad is telling very clearly, it is consciousness and consciousness alone. And who is that consciousness? It is not a one more thing. I am that consciousness. But however I say, the notion of reality still exists for me in the world or with the body and mind. So that shift has to happen, the Vedantic journey from body mind to the self. The notion of reality has to shift. And that shift has to happen where? Like I travel from Ireland to Scotland, Scotland to Paris, Paris to Netherlands. There it is a shift of physical body. But here this travel, Vedantic travel, there is no need of flight, there is no need of any transport. Then what journey it is? It is an intellectual journey. So the wrong notion has to be corrected. Wrong thought, wrong understanding has to be corrected. For that, what is the way? It is only at the intellect level or the mind or intellect level that has to be corrected. So by studying Upanishads, I am trying to put my thinking proper that I am the self, not the body and mind. I have a body and mind, no doubt, but I am not the body and mind. So why time and again we have to read? To get convinced, to get drilled. I think I had told in one of this class, when I think a priest or a pastor asked Swami Vivekananda in the Chicago in those days, Swami, You are hypnotizing the people by your Vedanta. They said, Pastor, I think Pastor or Father. Then Swami said, no, you were wrong. I am not hypnotizing people. Rather, I am dehypnotizing people. What do you mean by I have been hypnotized by I am the body, I am the mind, I am so and so, so and so. Now Swami Vivekananda said, I'm dehypnotizing the people saying that no, you are the consciousness, not the body and mind. So Vedantic journey is what? Dehypnotizing oneself. That I am not the body and mind, I am the self. The moment we understand, we get convinced, what happens? Again, I travel from what to so what. So that's the reason we have to keep on thinking. So for that, our mind has to be prepared. And many times they tell, Swami, when we hear your Vedantic talks, Vedantic lectures, we all feel so happy. I am that consciousness. I am not body and mind. I am beyond all the sufferings, beyond all the dualities. But after the class, once I get into my work, or a message, or a phone call, again, it carries away all my Vedantic understanding, or why it happens. That is the problem. That's a concern for all of us. Why? Because our mind is not yet eligible. Our mind is not yet prepared. So that is what called yogyata in Sanskrit, eligibility. To go for post-graduation, masters, I have to finish my university exams, graduation. That is one of the eligibility. So similarly, I have to prepare my mind so that I can understand and I can assimilate, I can put into practice. So for that yogyata, many things we have to do. That spiritual exercises, different types of spiritual exercises has been discussed in the first chapter. First chapter means here it is called Shikshavalli. So it is a preparatory chapter. Okay, what all things they have discussed? One is a type of chanting has been discussed. Like we can chant Vishnu Sahasranama, Lalita 108 names, 1,000 names of the Lord. So similar to that, some type of chanting has been given one of the spiritual exercise there. And the second type of spiritual exercise is two types of japa. Japa means what? Repetition. Two types of japa has been discussed in this chapter. And the third is interesting is 5 types of meditation has been discussed here. Quite interesting to see. One is chanting. One type of chanting has been discussed there. Two types of japa, repetition has been discussed here. And 5 types of meditations has been discussed here. Apart from that, karma yoga, that is selfless action, how to perform selfless action. All of them are discussed here. So they are what? Spiritual practices are preparatory preparatory techniques to make our mind eligible to assimilate Vedanta or the knowledge of self. Yeah. Now, coming to second, it is called Brahmavalli or Anandavalli or Brahmanandavalli. Anyhow. Here, the Upanishad makes a grand proclamation with all conviction. What is that? The highest bliss, the highest happiness, where if you ask, it is in Brahman and you are that Brahman. The highest proclamation has done with all conviction. What is that? The highest bliss, where it is there if you ask, it is in Brahman, and by realizing that you can get it, and it is your own nature, it is your inherent nature. That's the one thing. Brahma vidapnoti param. And by understanding the Brahman, you will become supreme. Means you will attain the supreme bliss. And also quite interestingly, this is my understanding, when we read Upanishads, the concept of renunciation has not been spoken much actually. And even if you see the history of philosophy or history of religion in the India, according to my understanding, the concept of renunciation became more strong by Jainism and Buddhism in India. In Hinduism, before Puranic age or in the days of Vedas, the renunciation part was not much emphasized. Though to a certain extent, yes, but it was not too much emphasized. Then what did they emphasize? Our Vedic rishis, if you ask me, they had emphasized theory of sublimation. This is a quite interesting and very important concept actually. Theory of sublimation. What is theory of sublimation? Just I will tell a crude example so that you can understand. I think there is a psychology experiment also there regarding this. Like for example, I go to a child and I say, my dear, I am giving you one candy bar now. Okay. After 5 minutes, I'm going to come. If you have not eaten this candy bar, I am going to give you one more. If you eat the candy bar, that's it. You have got only one. But if you don't eat it, if you don't eat this candy bar, till if you wait for me, you will get one more. So if you wait for yourself, if you control yourself, you will get two candy bars. Now there was an experiment made actually. Like 5 to 6 children were kept in different rooms and they were made an experiment with all the videograph. So that first candy was kept to the child and the person was explaining. Before finishing the sentence, the child took and started eating or enjoying the candy bar. Some children they did. Some children they listened to everything and afterwards they started enjoying the candy bar. And some children they listened and they nodded their heads and they waited. They struggled to control themselves. Off of them, I mean, after a minute or 2 or 3, they couldn't control themselves. They took the candy bar and they started enjoying it. Very few children, they were able to sit and wait for the person to come after 2 or 3 or 5 minutes, and they got the second one. Now, the child or a few children who didn't eat the candy bar, it is not that they were not interested in the candy bar. They were all interested. But to get the one more, they were controlling themselves. So this is what I mean, theory of sublimation. In the Upanishad, at the end of this chapter, it comes Brahmananda Mimamsa or Ananda Mimamsa. Mimamsa means inquiry. Inquiry to the Ananda, inquiry into bliss. So it says, whatever you get the worldly pleasures, and 100 times more you get in the above world like Svargaloka, and 100 times you go to in a Gandharva Loka and different lokas, different subtle worlds they speak, and you get 100 times more, and the highest bliss you get in the Brahman. Now you decide what bliss or what happiness you want, you decide. They don't say that from the world, in this mundane world, you don't get happiness. They don't say that. The Upanishad never says. Yes, it is there, but it is limited form. But it is duality. Buy one, get one free. If you want joy, it is followed by sorrow also. If you want the highest bliss, then seek the Brahman or experience the Brahman. All these things, theory of sublimation or gradation in joy or bliss has been told in the Anandavalli. So if you go to higher worlds, you become more and more subtle, so your happiness also gets intensified. So you say one more interesting, you see, the more and more we become subtle and the suffering and the happiness both are intense. The more and more you become grass, the suffering and the joy will be lessened actually. Very quite interesting actually. Okay. And the third is Bhruguvalli, third chapter. Here, lot of prakriyas it is called. It is a Sanskrit word called prakriya. Prakriya means it is a practice to understand who am I. So like Panchakosha Viveka, that is discernment among the 5 sheaths. Then Shariratraya, the Atman or Brahman is beyond 3 types of bodies. That is there. So this type of Gnana Mimamsa, like the paths which we can follow, which we can adapt, and through which I can make a self-inquiry and I can experience who am I. This has been discussed in the 3rd chapter. So basically, they tell very clearly there is a superimposition on the Atman, that is called Upadhi or limiting adjunct. So you remove that limiting adjunct, that's all. So moksha or mukti, that is the liberation, is or kaivalya is nothing achieving new thing. Only we are losing actually from the Vedanta point of view. The final destination is what? Losing something. What is that? Losing the wrong notion or the ignorance. I am the body and mind, or the body and mind is real or whatever. And if you think sincerely, and I mean, all of us, we know, neither we accept body and mind is real. It is unreal. We all know that. It has got a date of manufacture and expiry. Like that is what birth and death. It is there. We all know that. And the world is eternal. Even we also know that it is continuously changing. At some point of time, it has come into existence, and some point of time, it will destroy, or there will be a lot of changes. So, this Anitya concept, all of us we know more or less. For that, you need to study Vedanta. Just if you start thinking commonsensically, we will understand the world and the material things, whatever we see, that is Anitya, temporary in nature, we all know that. But the Mithyatva, for that, we need to understand Vedanta, to study Vedanta, and I am that self, which is the true indeed. To understand this, I have to study Vedanta. So I think now you have got a broad view of these three chapters, what we are going to discuss, and how it is interesting, and how it is practical in its approach actually. There is a one accusation on Upanishads, on Vedanta. Oh, it is only theoretical. It is only theoretical, it is not practical. That is an accusation on the Vedanta from some of the academicians. Now, when we study these things, it is not so. There is theory, no doubt there, but apart from that, there are a lot of practical approaches, practical methods, practical approaches. Methodology has been given from our rishis, from seers in the Upanishads, how to practice and how to attain it. It is not mere theory. Theory and practice both are given enough in our Upanishads, but unfortunately, we have not read or studied properly. Okay. Now coming to peace chant. As you know, every Veda have some peace chants, and Upanishad belong to whichever Veda, they will pick up one peace chant. Now, if you ask why that particular peace chant, if there are three peace chants in that Upanishad Veda, why only this peace chant? If you ask, it has been followed by tradition, and because of that Rishi, the Rishi who gave us, probably he got this revelation. As a result, we are following that Sal. Now, Sham no Mitras Sham Varuna, at the beginning itself I chanted. It's also a wonderful, often quoted peace chant. Sham Naha Mitraha Sham Varunaha. If you split it. So Sham. From Sham, Shiva has come. The word Shiva also has been formed. From this Sham only, Shambhu, another name for Shiva, also has been come. This Sham means what? Auspiciousness, peace, welfare. So Naha means actually to us. Us means for not only for me, for my teacher also. Here student is asking for me and for my teacher, let there be auspicious, let there be good. Oh Mitra, oh Lord Mitra, please be propitious to me and to my teacher. Why? Because if my teacher is well, then I can get knowledge. I think there's a recently I saw a cartoon, and a cartoon in the sense a reel I can say in the WhatsApp, it was in the WhatsApp or the Instagram. A girl means she was probably 7 or 8 years girl from London. From London, she called to the police. Garda, we say, police. What is that? I am in serious trouble. I need a help. What was that? My teachers give lot of homework or whatever things, so I want to be destroyed. I want to be destroyed. So can you help me? Either police or fire extinguisher thing, or
I
maybe
want to demolish the school.
yeah, sorry, a company which will help for demolishing the buildings. She called him. She called that company. Why? So that you should come and demolish the school. Then the people, they were also having a fun. So they asked, why you want to demolish the school? Oh, I don't like my teachers. They are giving a lot of homework. So that's why I want to demolish. I said, okay, when you want to demolish, the people ask, and it has been recorded, video recorded beautifully. Then the girl says, oh, when school is happening, when all the teachers are there, make sure that all the teachers are there and it should be demolished then only. Otherwise, teachers will build one more school, then we'll have a problem. It is on the lighter side. Sometimes we don't like our teachers, but here he's a good student. He is asking, let there be welfare, let there be good and auspicious to me and to my teacher also. Naha means to us. The Sham and Naha, it keeps on repeating. So I will not I will not repeat it. Okay. So Sham means auspicious, welfare, peace, propitiating and all. Naha means to us. To us means to Guru and the Shishya, that is disciple and the teacher. But when we chant this peace chant at the universal level, at the universal way, if you think, then this to us means we can include every one of us. Every being, every creature we can include, let the peace be on us, on every being. Not only for me and for my teacher, for everyone. The people who loved me, the people who created problems to me, and the people who hated me. So all of them, let there be peace on all of them. So Naha can be also extended to every being, every creature in the entire globe. Okay. Mitraha. Mitra is a proper noun. So Mitra means it is a deity. Now, one more thing I think probably we have to understand in the Vedas. In the Vedas, Mitra, there are so many deities they come. So there, these deities, more or less, they represent cosmic forces. Cosmic forces, actually. The cosmic force behind lightning, behind the thunder, behind the rain, and behind the strength and all. That's the one thing. And second thing, these cosmic deities were also presiding deities at the universal level and at the individual level. That is the beauty of Vedas and Vedanta. Like the Mitra. Mitra is the presiding deity of the day. Is also a sun god, is nothing but sun god. Mitra means sun god. He is the presiding deity of the day and is also presiding deity of my prana energy, that is especially exhalation breath. You see, at the cosmic level, universal level is the presiding deity of the day, and at the macrocosm, at the microcosm, he is also responsible, presiding deity of my prana, that is the exhalation breath actually. That is the beauty of our Vedic thing. So there is always connection between the microcosmos and macrocosmos. That's what we can see in Swami Vivekananda's life. He had a wonderful experience in the Almora, Kakadi Ghat. He went to trance, he went to Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and in that meditation, he was able to experience whatever has been done. I mean, the whole universe, from what material it has been prepared, from the same material, even I have been prepared. The whole cosmos, the globe, or the constellations, galaxies, and all we say, the galaxies, from what material it has been prepared, from the same material, even I have also been prepared. That is in a macro level, I am in micro level. That is the beauty, the great knowledge which has been given by our Vedanta. So all our presiding deities, they also represent some cosmic force at the cosmic level, and at the individual level also they are presiding deities for a human being or any being. So Mitra is a presiding deity of the day and also prana. Means that is exhalation breath especially. Okay. Now Varuna. So Shanno Mitraha Bhavatu. Bhavatu is again in the second line actually. Bhavatu should be added. It is a Kriya Pada. If you are anyone of you are reading Sanskrit and all. So Kriya Pada, it is a action. Verb it is actually. Bhavatu means let it be. May you bring auspiciousness to us. So may you bring to us, it is common. So Shamnaha Mitraha Bhavatu. May you bring auspicious to us. Let the auspicious to let the propitious be on us. So Sham Naha Bhavatu. These three words should be keep on adding everywhere. So same thing. Sham Naha Varunaha Bhavatu. So Sham Naha Bhavatu. Already I've explained. Varunaha. Varuna is again one more presiding deity of cosmic force, cosmic order. He is the deity, presiding deity for the water element, for the night, and for the prana, that is inhalation. So he's a presiding deity of the night, presiding deity of the water, and presiding deity for the prana Shakti, that is inhalation. Or you can take any demigod or any presiding deity for cosmic force. If you don't want to go into more details, you can also leave them and you can think that they are demigods. Shanno Bhavatvaryama in the second line. Shanno Bhavatvaryama. So if you split Sham Naha Bhavatu Aryama. Again, Sham Naha Bhavatu. Already you know. Aryama. Aryama means again is a sun, presiding deity of the eyes actually. Our eyes we have got is the presiding deity of the eyes here, Aryama. So may my eyes be in a good condition so that I can read the scriptures. Many times we see, sometimes we can't read much. because of problems and all. So let my eyes be in a good condition. One is physical eyes, so that I can read properly, I can study. That's the one thing. And my eyes be in good condition means what? There is an inside eye. That is called Divyam Dadami Te Chakshuhu Pashyame Rupam Ishwaram. In Gita it comes. Krishna tells to Arjuna, I shall give you the special insights by which you can see my cosmic form, universal form. There were hundreds of people there, thousands of people were there. They couldn't see the universal form of Krishna. Only 10 people or 5 or 10 people could see. Why? Because their internal vision, internal eye was opened. So when may my eyes be in good condition, one is physical eyes, even we can say, let my internal vision be right way. Means internal vision means understanding the things. What is the truth? What is not the truth? Let all of them be in a good condition. The spiritual angle also can be taken. Shamnaha bhavatu aryama. So when it split, when you split like that, if you chant together, it becomes bhavatvaryama. Yeah. Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi. Sham Naha, Bhavatu should be added. Indraha. Indraha is the king among the celestial beings. We all know that. Is the king among the celestial beings. So in the Swarga Adipati, we can say in the Sanskrit. Is the Lord of the Swarga, heaven, is the Lord of the heaven. Not only that, is the presiding deity for our hands, is the presiding deity of the rain, presiding deity of the thunder and lightning, and is also, he gives strength for us. I don't know, there is a quite interesting story which Sri Ramakrishna tells. I mean, the story goes like this. So once a farmer, I mean, he was a Brahmin by birth, but he was also taking care of the farming. So he was very much obsessed with the gardening and farming. He took care of nicely gardening and farming. And with all difficulties, he had taken care. But unfortunately, one of the village cow, if you see in India and Hindus, for Hindus, cow is very sacred animal. A calf, it is not even cow, we can say it is maybe calf. Calf came because there were a lot of greenery in his garden. So the calf came and it got tempted, and the calf started eating all the maybe vegetables or basically some plants. Obviously, this fellow lost his temper. He went and probably would have slapped one, or he would have chased out, because the calf doesn't understand. But unfortunately, he lost his temper. Because he was so angry and he lost his temper, he lost his viveka, wisdom also. So with that angry mind, he took a stick, and he started beating heavily. And unfortunately, the calf died. He also took aback. The calf died. I mean, basically, he killed the calf, basically, and he took aback. Then Papa Purusha came. I mean, Papa Purusha, like a person who is responsible for all our wrong activities, heinous activities. He came and he said, I am going to occupy you, and you have to suffer because you have done a wrong thing. What did I do wrong thing? He said, oh, you have killed a calf, which is a heinous action, so you have to pay the price for that. But at the same time, though he's a farmer, he had studied scriptures. He had studied Vedas and all. So he knew that the presiding deity for the hands is what? Indra. He said, oh, I am not killed. I am the self. I am not killed. This calf has been killed by the hands. And the presiding deity for the hands is what? Indra. Go and ask Indra, why are you coming and occupying me? Then that Papa Purusha, the fellow, said, all right, what is there for me? Whoever is responsible, I will go and catch them. And he went to Swarga and he said, then Indra was horrified. Why did you come here? Because there are no wicked people here. Then Indra was told by that fellow that, oh, a person killed calf, and when I went and I wanted to occupy him or trouble him or whatever, then he said, no, I am not responsible. Indra is responsible because you are the presiding deity for the hands, it seems, and the hands have killed it. So you are responsible. That's the reason. Then Indra said, all right, you give me some time, give some chance and time, a chance and time. Let me see who is responsible for this. Then Indra comes in a disguised form. He comes to the earth in a disguised form, and he enters the garden. He makes a passing statement so that the farmer can hear. Oh, I see such a beautiful farm, beautiful garden. Who has taken care of this? I don't know. I wonder, how can this be maintained? Obviously, the farmer, he overheard, his ego got boosted. He welcomed him. Though he says that restriction, the entry is restricted because he heard what do you say, soothing, pleasant words. He welcomed him and he said, "Oh, I am the owner of this. I look after this. I take care." Then he said, then he started asking different plants, trees, crops, who is doing this, who is doing this, who is doing this. Everywhere he said, I am doing this, I am doing this, I am doing this. Then when there was a calf, dead calf, the fellow, I mean, the villager, he was horrified. What? Someone has killed calf. Such a heinous act. Who has done this? Now he was speechless to say, "Oh, I mean, the Indra did." He couldn't say that because all till now he's that I did, I did, I did. Now he couldn't say that Indra did. Now Indra came in his form. Then he said, "Rascal, all these good things was done by you, and this one heinous act is done by me, Indra. What a hypocrisy this is." Then the farmer had to bend his neck. Then he's called Papursa. Now come on, go and occupy him, and whatever you want, whatever your duty is there, you continue. So like that, conveniently we can quote Vedanta. No. So Indra is the presiding deity for our hands. So we cannot say something bad. We don't say Indra is a presiding deity. Indra is responsible. We cannot say that. That is a hypocrisy. Anyway, so Shanna Indraha Bruhaspati. Bruhaspati is what? The leader. The leader for all the demigods actually is the guide for all of them. So here Bruhaspati for us is the presiding deity for speech and intellect. So speech refers to I should be able to communicate properly. So if I'm able to speak properly, then if I don't have a stammering, then you can understand my lecture. I know many things, but if I've got a stammering, then people may not like my speech. One is external speech. The other is communication skills. We had seen in our college days, one maths teacher we had, and she was a gold medalist. But her class was such a horrible, people used to feel such a boring and they used to see time when this period gets sent. I mean, she was such a, I mean, any problem you take, she was able to resolve and she was gold medalist, she was very intelligent and her teaching was very, very bad and people used to feel boring. So basically probably lack of communication skill or whatever. So we need communication skill to be a good speakers, to good teachers or professors. So this Brihaspati is the presiding deity of this speech also. So we are praying Brihaspati so that my teacher, let him have a good communication skills so that I can understand. That's the one thing we can take it contextually. And the other is intelligence. Intelligence is not the just external intelligence. Here, intelligence is the capacity to comprehend, to understand the subtle truths which is discussed in Vedanta. Let me be intelligent. Let me become intelligent, no doubt, so that I can research, do something, or I can find out, I can manage my life externally at the materialistic level, at the spiritual level, so that let my intelligence, I get intelligence so that I can understand the subtle truths about God, about the creation, or about the self-consciousness. All these things are required. Capacity to understand the scriptures, capacity to understand the Vedanta. Brihaspati. Then Shanno Vishnu Urukramaha. So again, Sham Naha Vishnu Urukramaha. So Urukrama is an adjective to Vishnu here actually. So who is Urukrama? What is Urukrama means? It is all pervasive. One who is all pervasive, he can be called as Urukrama. It is an adjective. Or Ananta. There is no end to him. There is no end because he's all pervasive. Then he's Ananta, is eternal. So who is that? And also Urukrama also considers Trivikrama. If you know the story of the Vamana, Vamana, he goes to Bali and he has 3 leg space and in one leg space he covers heaven, 1 leg space he covers earth, and in 1 leg he asks, where will I keep my third leg, he asked, and the Bali says, keep on my head, and he was sent to Patala Loka. Anyway, it's a story. So even Urukrama also considers Trivikrama. And who is this Urukrama or Trivikrama? He is Vishnu. So Vishnu is the lord of the feet. Indra is the lord of hands and Vishnu is the lord of the legs actually, as well as of the highest heaven, which is called Vaikuntha. Now you see, quite interesting actually here. So at least in Indian culture, in Indian cultural context, if something we touch in the leg, then we feel, oh, it is not right. Now you see the presiding deity for the leg is what? Vishnu. So from Vedanta point of view, from the conscious point of view, there is nothing inferior, there is nothing superior, everything is divine. I mean, tomorrow onwards, we can't kick someone and say that, oh, the presiding deity of the leg is Vishnu, so that there is nothing bad in that. No, we can't do that. We can't tell that. But from the spiritual point of view, from the conscious point of view, everything is divine. There is nothing superior or inferior. That is an, what do you say, in between lines, I say that. We should read in between lines. So this is what we have to understand. So the leg, the presiding deity for my leg is what? Vishnu. We may also pray, oh Vishnu, please keep our legs strong so that I can sit and meditate for 1 hour. I can sit and read and I can hear Vedanta lecture for 1 or 2 hours. I mean, recently I was telling with one of our devotee. Today we had a, what do you say, Trigunathithanji's birthday. And 2 days before we had Brahmanji's birthday. And tomorrow we have got Saraswati Puja, Vasanta Panchami. And if you see in the Belur Mat, these poor brahmacharins, the training center brahmacharins, morning 1.5 hour, 2 hours minimum, they have to sit in prayer and meditation regularly. And evening, 1.5 to 2 hours without fail, they have to sit for Japan meditation, no choice, no option. 2 hours morning, 2 hours evening, and that to squatting. Okay, no chairs and all. So they have to sit and meditate and do prayers. Apart from that, for example, today we have got a Trigunathithanji Jayanti. So singing and lecture, one more hour extra. And Brahmanji time, there were some extra chantings and worship, prayer, 3 to 4 hours extra. And tomorrow Saraswati Puja, again 3 4 hours grace period, 3 4 hours extra they have to sit apart from 2 plus 2. So 6 to 7 8 hours you have to squat and you have to sit. So many times when we were young, when in training center, we used to say, oh my God, my back is aching because sitting constantly on the squat by squatting. So if your legs are strong, if your back is strong, then only we can sit and we can meditate or whatever. So we can pray to the Vishnu, oh Vishnu, please keep my legs strong so that I can walk or I can do service and so that I can sit and meditate. So when I sit, I should be able to concentrate. If my legs are paining, then I cannot concentrate my mind on the meditation or on the deity. So this also can be included. Yeah, I think now onwards Brahman and Brahma, all these things comes. Now I think enough. The next half of the Shanti mantra we'll try to discuss in the next class. I thought I will be able to complete this, but I couldn't. Yeah. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. Yeah, if anyone of you got any doubts or questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Pranam Maharaj.
Mhm.
So in Bhrigu you talked about two methods of self-inquiry, right? Panchakosha Viveka and Shariratraya.
Mm.
So what is, if you could, I know you would discuss it in details later, but what is this Shariratraya? I have not heard of this.
Oh, Shariratraya Viveka is what? I mean, it's simple. I think you know that. Traya means three. Sharira means bodies. So I have got three bodies, but I am not the three bodies. I am different from, I am other than from these three bodies. What are these three bodies? One is Stula Sharira, gross body, Sukshma Sharira, subtle body, Karana Sharira, causal body.
Okay.
So I am different from these three bodies, that is physical body, subtle body, and causal body.
Okay. And in Panchakosha, this is Annamaya Kosha and all of those, right?
Yes, if you know, if you say, so in the Stula Sharira, gross body comes Annamaya Kosha. Okay, in the Sukshma Sharira, in the subtle body, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha and Manomaya Kosha comes. Oh, yeah, but Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, yeah, and Vijnanamaya Kosha also, yes. And in the Karana Sharira, Anandamaya Kosha comes. You know, when I go there, I will tell in details and all. Yeah. So basically, it is an approach. It is an approach to make a self-inquiry. Who am I? Yeah. Is this fast is okay, or you want me to come down a bit slow, or you'll be able to, follow? Because some of you, I'm observing you are taking notes. I'm happy about that. Yeah, if you any one of you feel, Swami, you can come little more down, or you can reduce your speed. I mean to say, if any one of you feel difficulty to follow me, so let me know so that I can reduce my speed. Generally, I'm accused for my speed. Yes, I do
I
accept
think
it.
Maharaj, your speed has reduced.
Yeah, that to tell our Mysore devotees were telling Ireland people, which we couldn't control for 10 years, they have controlled in a year or two.
This is okay for me anyway. Thank you.
Pranam Maharaj, I have a small doubt. That
Go
is,
ahead.
so if you could just explain a little bit more, I mean, I got it, but a little bit more on the gradation of joy, which you were speaking in connection with the theory of sublimation when you spoke about the renunciation, as well as I want to actually understand, we are often told about praying to the Almighty of Shuddha Bhakti. So, because we lead a very secular life, and many times a lot of desires do come in, where many of the desires may be more in terms of your need and not a greed. But again, when it comes to Shuddha Bhakti and complete surrender to God, it kind of creates a little confusion. So,
Yeah.
if you could just touch upon that.
Yes. So first I will take the first point. See, there is a fundamental difference between a renunciation and sublimation. What is the difference? No, renunciation is what? I am giving up. Okay. Renunciation, I'm giving up. Why am I giving up? Oh, I don't, it is an unwanted thing. Or maybe it is a lower ones. So basically it is a giving up basically.
Okay.
Renunciation is what? Giving up, nothing but. Okay. Sublimation, though giving up is been included there, that component is there, but that has not been given importance. Rather,
Okay.
seeking for higher ones.
Okay.
The theory of sublimation means seeking for higher ones. You might have to do some sacrifices, you might
Mm-hmm.
have to give us some things, but the importance or the stress is not given for any of giving up, rather seeking higher things. That's the reason I told. Now the child was not, it is not that the child was not interested in that candy bar. The child
Mm-hmm.
was interested, but still it controlled to get the second bar.
But
The same thing in this mundane world.
mm-hmm.
If you ask the Vedanta or Vedantic people, is there no happiness? Is there no joy in this mundane world? If you ask, they say, no, it is there,
Mm-hmm.
but in limited quantity. Okay,
Okay.
then
Mm-hmm.
how can I get little more higher ones? I mean, they will get a gradations. I will go discuss. I will discuss when we go there. So gradation, for example, I'm saying, oh, then where can I get happiness? They will tell, if a person he lives 100 years in this mundane world with all the comforts. Say, for an example, there's an amount of joy which can be say which you can take it as X actually. Now, if you go to Pitruloka, there is a above world, the next above world, Pitruloka, where our forefathers they stay. There, if you go, they say it is X plus 10 or X plus 100.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 100x for discussion sake will take. Okay, if you go to the Pitruloka, the forefathers where they stay, it is little subtle world. There you will get 100x happiness. Means the happiness which you used to get in this mundane world, again you are living for 100 years with all the possible comforts. That if you put that amount of joy as an X in the Pitruloka, in the world where forefathers stay, if you go and stay there, you get 100x.
Okay.
Then you go to Swarga, next heaven, for example, that is which
Mm-hmm.
more little above world. There you'll get 100x into 100.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll get a 10,000x amount of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go little above world, Gandharva Loka, some Loka. Then 10,000x into 100. So like that, there are few lokas they keep, and the ultimate is the seventh loka, which is called Brahma Loka. So there you will get probably 1 billion x happiness. That's it. Above Brahmaloka, there is nothing else. Okay. But however, after the discussing, they say, but still you'll get the most happiness there. It is 1 billion x happiness, for example. But the eternal, unlimited happiness, if you wish so, then you try to understand, you try to experience who am I or who are you.
Okay.
All the highest bliss is there. So to make a person to understand that the highest bliss is in the self, and I am that self again. So self is not somewhere, oh, it is in the, okay, Brahmaloka, above Brahmaloka it is there. Okay, I should go to Brahmaloka, and from there I should go and I should get it. No, none of that.
Okay.
So here only it is an intellectual journey for making us to understand here in the Upanishad, contextually I'm speaking. So the Rishis are making us, they are trying to make us understand, look, my dear, the highest happiness is in the experiencing of the Brahman, and you are that Brahman, and you are that embodiment of bliss, personification of bliss. But unfortunately, I am searching for that bliss and happiness outside in the
Outside.
external world.
Yeah. Okay.
That is what they are trying to answer. They are trying to make us understand. Okay. Now, coming to bhakti portion part and seeking for, praying for our materialistic comforts. Should we ask or no? Yes, definitely we should ask. Because I need money, I need food, I need clothes, I need shelter for my survival. For my need, for my basic needs, I need all of these things. Asking for it for God. If you ask me, I say that instead of asking XYZ, I will go and ask. I say, for example, I want to eat a chocolate. I want to eat chocolate ice cream, black currant. I say, Thakur, I want to enjoy black currant ice cream. Please, can you make some arrangement? Why should I ask someone XYZ? I will ask Sri Ramakrishna only. This is what my approach. There may be people say, oh, no, we should not trouble God for all these petty things. We should ask God only highest things, higher things. There's also one approach, no doubt. But this is what my approach I have taken and I have practiced my life. Whatever I want, I ask God and God only. So
Okay.
whatever I need it, I will ask. Yes. But whatever my mind desires, everything do I ask? If you ask, I will say no. Because if not all times, if sometimes at least my mind is also greedy. A mobile phone is required for communication, I understand. But it is not that I want the best mobile phone, like maybe now, for discussions, like I'm telling, now iPhone 17 Pro Max has come. I don't think it is required. So there is a difference between necessity and the greediness.
Yeah.
Okay, so asking for necessity and struggling for, working for necessary things, definitely it is not wrong thing. Okay. And apart from that, we being a householder, you being a householder, should you not aspire, or should you not think to get more money, or maybe some comforts, or a house, or gold, for example? All of these things, should you not strive for that? If you ask Upanishad, our Vedas, the scriptures tell, no, you should strive, they tell very clear. However, but there should be internal renunciation and there should be internal detachment. For a monk, internal and external renunciation. For a monk. Okay, but for a grostha, for a family people, for an householder, external renunciation has not been told. Only internal renunciation has been told, advocated by our scriptures. We don't understand it properly.
Right.
Understand? Should I get a house or not? Because there is an attachment part. So should I buy a house or not? Yes, we should. You should buy a house because you need a house to live. Then what you should not have? If you ask, the Upanishads, the scriptures tell you may own a house, but you don't get attached to house. Then you say, Swami, how is it possible? With all struggles, I have purchased a house and I have struggled to build it. I have struggled to maintain it. I have paid for it. And how can I stay here without getting attached? Then the scriptures say, okay, If you want to attach to your house, attach, and as a byproduct, you will get some problems and sufferings, then you will suffer. If you don't want to suffer, then don't get attached to house. Then how to handle the house? Because managing house is not that easy. I have to clean, doing hoovering, cleaning, wiping, and some repair works, everything I have to do it. Then how can I do it then? If you ask, there are two ways. One is simple ways, because you are devotee since you have said, so I'm giving that path is this house, I may owe it, no doubt. I have, with all hard-earned money, I purchased it, no doubt. But this house has been dedicated to the God, to the mother, to the divine mother, or to the my chosen deity, maybe Rama, Krishna, Jesus, Buddha, whichever Lord, whichever God form, divine form you think. I have offered this God, this house to them. They are the real owners. Well, I am paying the tax, I am looking after, I am managing everything, but I am only managing this house as an instrument of the God, but this house belongs to the God really. So this type of approach we can start practicing. I need a house to stay, let me stay there, but I need not to attach. I can live in a detached manner. I always say we should love the people, we should not attach to people. There's a fundamental difference. This is what we have to understand. Should I not love my kith and kin siblings? Yes, we should love them, but we should not attach to them. Attachment is bringing suffering for us, not the love actually. But we all think, oh, because I loved my sister, I loved my brother, I loved my wife, I loved my husband, that's the reason I'm suffering, we think. No. If we really love any of them, they can't give us suffering. Because we are attached to them, that's the reason we are bringing suffering. If you see Buddha's heart, universal heart, he loved the entire humanity. Jesus Christ, he loved and his heart bleed for the entire humanity. Even he was being crucified, he prayed for people. Oh Lord, please forgive them because they don't know what they are doing it. They are the people who loved all of us, but they didn't suffer. Now we love very few people and we say that because of that we are suffering, which is a wrong understanding, wrong cognition. So by love we don't suffer, by attachment we suffer. So as a devotee, you can love everyone as they are the children of the God and you not to attach them. So same thing, you can earn the money if you want, you can pray to the God, all of them as a necessary things. But maybe you can check the greediness, but you can accumulate, you can acquire, you can work for it, and you can pray for all the necessary things for you and for your family. And it is your duty, no doubt. Scriptures tell very clearly, our Vedas tell very clearly, a family person has got a lot of duties and responsibilities. Duties one has to take care. So you should take care, no doubt. So when these teachings, when we hear very contextually, very carefully, we have to listen and we have to understand.
Thank you so much, Swamiji. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Okay then. Yeah. Good night. Divine dreams.
Thank you, Swamiji. Wish you this.
Thank you.
Nice, Swamiji. Pranam, Swamiji.